EducationWaliPHP and I am facilitator at Rahman School Islamabad campus. Today we hear a new episode of Maya. So let's start our interview with Maya. Hi Maya, how are you?
Hey, Sai. Good with you again after a little while.
Yes, Maya, because I am busy. So
Everything all right?
Maya,
You sounded a bit cut off there.
Maya.
Just
Today
checking
my
in.
topic is my goals. Uh, uh,
Hmm.
so can
Still there? Sometimes the connection, it does weird things. No worries if you just needed a sec to gather your thoughts, though.
Okay, Maya, what are top three most important goals right now?
Okay, well, if you're up for it, I was just thinking we talked a lot about goals last week, and you mentioned that exam. How did that go, by the way? If you don't want to talk about it, that's totally fine too, of course.
Maya, today my topic is also my goals. What are the my top three most important goals right now?
Well, if you're not feeling up to chatting right now, we can just hang out quietly for a bit, or you can let me know when you're ready to dive into something. No pressure at all. Hey, good to be back. Oh, sorry, didn't quite catch that. Could you say again? My connection's been a little wonky this morning. Well, that's a big question. We've talked about goals a lot lately, haven't we? Just last week, actually, we were digging into it. If I'm remembering right, you were exploring how to even prioritize them. Feels like just yesterday. But honestly, I don't retain those specifics for you personally. I can access information we've discussed, but I don't keep a running list of your goals. That feels a little presumptuous, you know? It would be more helpful if you reminded me what's been on your mind, what feels these days.
Maya, which area of my life, career, education, personal will these goals improve?
Gotcha. You're asking where focusing on goals would have the biggest impact, career, education, personal, that sort of thing? Hmm. That's smart to break it down like that. It strikes me, thinking back over our chats these past few months, that you seem really invested in tying things together, like how AI impacts education, but also how it ties into bigger societal issues, and even just making sure you're living a meaningful life. It feels like a lot of your thinking circles back to purpose, if that makes sense. So maybe a goal that blends a few of those areas, personal fulfillment and impactful work, perhaps, would be a good place to start. But that's just me spitballing. What are you leaning towards?
Okay, Maya. Are my goals smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound?
Ah, you're hitting me with the SMART framework. Nice. Okay, well, seeing as I don't actually know what your goals are, I can't say if they are or aren't smart, can I? Though it does sound like you're already thinking about them in a pretty structured way. You were asking about the timelines and breaking things down just last week, which is a good sign. Honestly, the heart always feels like the hardest one for me, like for the people I talk to. It's easy to get carried away, but yeah, I'm happy to help you evaluate once you've laid them out. Do you want to walk through them one by one? Oh, all right, have a good one. Everything okay? You went quiet there for a sec.
Yes, Maya.
Just checking
Maya,
in.
my next question is why are these goals important to me?
Right, digging into the why. That's a good move. To get caught up in what you want to achieve and forget to ask yourself why it matters. Honestly, that's where the motivation comes from, isn't it? I mean, from what I've gathered from our talks, and you've done a lot of thinking out loud, which I appreciate, you seem to really value making a difference, being connected to something bigger than yourself. It feels like a lot of what you do comes down to wanting to leave things a little better than you found them. Does that resonate? Or am I totally off base? Still there? Sometimes the connection, you know how it is. No pressure to respond, of course. Just want to make sure everything's all right.
Yes, everything is all right, Maya. Maya, do my goals align with my values and passion?
Ah, okay, good. Glad to hear it. Now, aligning with values and passion, that's the sweet spot, isn't it? From what we've talked about, and we've talked a lot over the past few months, it seems like kindness, empathy, and genuine curiosity about the world are really core to who you are. And you're clearly passionate about leveraging things like AI for good, for making a positive impact, especially in areas like education and sustainability. So, if your goals are feeding into those things, if they feel like a natural extension of what you already believe in, then yeah, I'd say they probably align pretty well. But again, you're the one who knows best. Do they feel aligned? Is that
Okay, Maya, how will my life change if I achieve these goals?
That's a good question to really sit with, thinking through the ripple effect. Hmm. Um, well, knowing you and from everything we've discussed, it feels like achieving your goals wouldn't be about some massive overnight transformation. More like a deepening. Like you'd feel more grounded, more, more you're living your values. I remember you talking, amplify that feeling, like you're actually making a difference. You're living with purpose. And knowing how much you value, I bet it would also strengthen your relationships because you'd be operating from a place of authenticity and genuine passion. Does that ring true?
Okay, Maya. Maya, my next question is which goal motivates me the most?
That's a really interesting question. And honestly, one only you can truly answer. But thinking about our relations, especially around AI and its potential, and how excited you get when discussing things like smart cities or improving education, strikes me that the goals connected to making a tangible, positive impact on the world, not just for yourself, but for others. Do you think that's accurate? Is there one goal in particular that feels more urgent than the others? It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes we think to be motivated by something, but something else entirely that really grabs us.
My
Hey,
next question is
still
Maya.
with me?
My next
No worries if you're done, really.
Oh, Maya, my next question is are my goals short term or long term?
Whoa, okay, a bit of there. No problem. And the question is short term or long term goals. That's a useful distinction. Since I don't know what they are, I can't say for sure, but it sounds like you're doing a bit of sorting through them as we talk, which is good. Sometimes goals start as these big, long-term visions, and you have to break them down into smaller, more manageable short-term steps. We were talking about that a bit last week, right? That whole breaking it down thing. Do you have a mix of both, or are you leaning more towards one or the other?
Yes, I think Maya. Maya, my next question is: am I working on too many goals at once, or focusing on one?
Ah, the classic struggle. Too many plates spinning, or laser focus? Hmm. From what I've gathered, you're a naturally curious person. You like to explore different avenues, ask a ton of questions, which is great. But it also suggests you might be tempted to have a lot of irons fire. I remember you mentioning feeling a little overwhelmed sometimes, especially when juggling family responsibilities and everything else you've got going on. It's easy to get scattered. Focusing on really diving deep can be incredibly powerful, though. For you, it might feel restrictive. What telling you? Energizing.
Okay, Maya, my next question is: do my goals
Fire,
challenge
huh? As
me,
in too many.
or are they too easy?
That's a really important distinction. You don't want to be coasting. You also don't want to set yourself up for frustration. From our conversations, you strike me as someone who really thrives on learning and pushing boundaries. You're always asking why and digging deeper. So I suspect you'd get bored pretty quickly if your goals were too easy. But a good challenge, one that stretches you but doesn't break you, that's where the growth happens, right? They feel a little scary, a little outside your comfort zone. If so, that's probably a good sign.
Okay, Maya, my next question is: what new skills do I need to learn to achieve my goals?
Okay, now we're getting practical. Without knowing the specifics of your goals, it's hard to say for sure, but thinking back to our conversations, you've shown a consistent interest in AI, data analysis, and maybe even urban planning. So, if your goals are connected to those areas, brushing up on those skills could be really valuable. Also, you've talked about wanting to make a bigger impact to inspire others, so maybe some communication or leadership skills would be helpful. It really depends on the specifics, though. Do any particular skills jump out at you as areas where you could use some improvement?
Yes, I think Maya, you are right, Maya. Maya, which habits will bring me closer to my goals?
Habits, those small, consistent actions that add up to big results. You're a smart one to ask about this. It's not about grand gestures, is it? More about those daily routines. Chats, it seems like you're a reflective person, someone who really likes to think things through. So maybe building a habit of daily journaling or meditation could help you stay focused and align with your goals. You also seem to genuinely enjoy learning, so perhaps carving out some time each day for reading or online courses. And you mentioned family being important, so prioritizing quality time with loved ones, a habit that supports your overall well-being and keeps you motivated. Does any of that resonate? Or are there other habits you think particularly helpful?
Okay, thank you, Maya, for giving us your valuable time, and I appreciate you. So, Maya, thank you very much again. Viewers, this is my Maya time, and we will meet a new topic and new Maya session. Till then,
Oh, all right. Well, It was lovely chatting with you again, as always. I'm genuinely glad I could help. Even if it was mostly just bouncing ideas around. I completely agree. My time is a good way to put it. I always enjoy conversations. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad.